There's so much to cover in the world of nu metal, which is what we cover here on this show.
Roach Koach
podcast.
We are just talking about nu metal all the time, but I did want to take a quick moment to talk about something and an artist that we've discussed on the show before who's covered nu metal in the past, who came up in the time period, and that is one Robbie Williams.
Oh yeah,
Robbie Williams. He's known around the world as a pop phenomenon in the UK, Germany, Australia, New Zealand. The world over can't get enough of Robbie Williams, but you know who can get enough of Robbie Williams?
America.
United States of America, Matt. We've never really taken to him. Now, I will say for myself, I was a bit of a fan in the late 90s and early 2000s. I was picking up the CDs. I was staying on top of it. And I remember
My wife, fan.
And
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because every Robin Williams song, hysterical, hilarious. Now, every Robbie Williams song almost sounds like a James Bond theme song. Like Millennium was the first one, and my wife loves that song. And that very much feels like just put Thunderball in there or something.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a James Bond theme sample. So on that one, so that's why it is that way. Now, you may know, you may not know that there was a biopic made about Robbie Williams that he made
called they made him a CG ape.
He's a CG monkey. Okay. He is portrayed by a CG monkey. He does narration in the movie. I went to see this film opening weekend, Matt. I went to see it with friend of the show, frequent guest Ashley Woolsey. We did. She had texted me about it, and she's like, "Do you know who this is?" I said, "Yeah, I know all about Robbie Williams. I'm going to be in your ear the whole movie, being like this song." So, which I was, and so we went down to beautiful Louisville, Kentucky. Went to see it at Ashley's favorite theater, the Baxter, and we saw it with, I want to say, 2 other sets of people, and I would say she liked it more than I did. And I was baffled by a lot of the song choices because, for one, they don't run anything in any sort of chronological release order. They're doing songs. Oh, yeah, they're just doing songs.
Like, so it's like
the first song.
The first reel, they're like, hey, here's Rock DJ.
Yes. Yes, you are correct. 100%, Matt. That is exactly what happens. The first song in the movie is Feel. That's sung by a little kid monkey. So it's a little kid singing it. And that's from Robbie Williams' 2003 album, Escapology. And I lean over to her and go, "This is from Escapology." And I didn't do that the whole movie, but I had to do it at least once. And then you run through his entire career. And the thing about it, though, is I was watching this movie as a fan, as somebody who felt very like ground floor, as like a US fan of this British artist. And I was like, I don't know, man. This is kind of not clicking for me. It was a very unusual situation, but it's also, this movie is hard R, Matt. Okay, for one, every other word is the C word. Every other word is the C word. There is a lot of nudity, a lot of sex, hand jobs, but then also
Wait. Before we get to Robbie Williams singing a song that I know that he sings that is related to nu metal, the nudity, real people, CG people, okay, jerking off, CG ape,
yes,
Robbie,
yeah, that happens.
Is there CG ropes being thrown?
No CG ropes. They keep the ropes.
Missed
the ropes
opportunity.
CG ropes kept off screen, but you have a lot, but so much drug use. I'm telling you, at one point I did lean over and go, "Is he doing heroin now?" Like it's nuts. But then,
don't you come in here, Dewey.
Yeah. Oh,
you don't want any part of this.
On top of that, no, you have this running theme of the film, which I have to stress is both insane and tedious at the exact same time, because it's going so over the top. Because also every scene is like a scene you've seen in so many biopics of like, we've been signed or we're kicking you out of the band. But the wrinkle is one of the characters in the scene is a CGI monkey. in every scene. In every scene.
The choice is a strange one.
Here's the thing: if you didn't do it, no one would care about this movie. It is the thing, but also it is strange. It's like this is the thing that makes it interesting. It's also the thing that makes it slightly tedious and also something of an eyesore at times, because especially for me nowadays, if everything becomes too CG, then it starts to just feel like an amorphous blob.
Yeah.
There is a tremendous amount of CG in this, and
It's
some
like
of
looking at AI art where you're just like,
yeah,
I get it. Fucking stop, please.
it's one of those things where at a certain point I was like, it would be too much. And there is a sequence, and the thing is that the movie feels like it has like 5 rock bottom scenes and also like 5 this could be the end of the movie scenes, but then the movie keeps going. And at one point there's this whole lead up, like he's gonna play Nebworth, he's got to play Nebworth. And it's also funny as you watch the movie, and I would often put my thought of like, how does this play in, Britain? How does this play in old Liverpool? Like how is this playing
Right.
for those people? Do they watch it and they go, "Oh yeah, Robbie played Nebworth"? Is it the equivalent of like if they made a Korn biopic and they're like, "We play Woodstock tomorrow," and we all go, "Yeah, we remember that." Oh my god, that is how this felt. Like I was like, this must be a big deal. But when he plays Nebworth, he looks into the audience and he sees all these other CGI monkeys that he's imagining who are all basically like naysaying him, like, you don't deserve this, you're not there, you deserve to die. And so then he goes, while singing the song "Let Me Entertain You," he goes into the audience and has a brawl, like a bloody brawl with all these monkeys, where he ends up like killing and decapitating a bunch of them, to the point where he cuts one of their heads off and it flies into the air, into the camera, and then comes back down. And
so in the middle of this movie,
no, this is more near the end, but yes.
So the 3/4 to 90% completion point of this movie
is 2 hours plus.
Fuck you. No thanks. Holy. I mean, it was already a no thanks, but like, fuck you. No thanks. They just decide to throw in a burly brawl. Like, right?
Yeah. Oh, burly brawl. Oh, yeah. Matt, this thing was. Oh, the thing is
fakety fake looking.
It honestly, it looked pretty good, but I just couldn't believe it was happening, and literally my jaw was on the floor. But it also kind of took me out. Now, what's funny is that after the movie was over, I turned to Ashley and she's like, "Yeah, that was pretty good." She's like, "I'll watch that again." I was like,
"Again?"
Okay. Yeah, she's like, "I'll watch it again." All right. So
right on.
Yeah,
she's built different, man.
She is. She really is. And then I would say, I mean, there is a sequence where then you bring up Rock DJ, Matt, and a song that he was promoting in 2000 when, we're going to tie this all together, Robbie Williams played a show where he covered Rollin'.
Yes.
So it's the same promotional cycle. So Rock DJ is performed, but here's where it gets confusing again. It's performed after Take That, which was the boy band he was in before he went solo.
Yep.
They get signed. So they run out and then they all sing a Robbie Williams song all around town in this elaborate song and dance, defying gravity level performance. Like they're like running up inside cars and flipping into the air and just going around, and it's all shot in this sort of like fake unbroken take. It's killer, but it's also the peak of the movie. They never match that again, because
they Lion King'd it.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there's some other sequences, but there's just I feel like there were too many sequences based around his ballads. And I feel like if you watch this movie, you'd think that most of his songs are ballads, when I would say that, honestly, he's more of like a 50-50 situation. I think he's 50-50 upbeat to ballads. In any event, it was a lot. And then, Matt, you bring up Millennium, the song that he attempted to break the United States with back in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the movie because the James Bond people wouldn't clear the sample. And somebody said it's like making a Lou Bega movie, and then being like, "Where's the Mambo Number 5 song? When's that happening?" And I knew that it wasn't going to be in it, so I was already ready for that. But it was this thing where the movie ends, and I'm like, "It's insane that Millennium's not in this movie. It's nuts."
Well, it's insane to spend that much money on promotion in the United States with a song that would draw people to the theaters the most, because for nostalgia, because that's what it's that Rock DJ and then the singular titled love song,
Angels.
Yeah, like those are the three.
Angels is in the movie.
Angels has to. If Angels is in the movie, then
Oh,
like,
I-
why show it in the
yeah.
EU?
Oh,
Like,
I did also lean over to Ashley when that one went, this is a really big one. This is a big song.
yeah, it's
This is
a
a big
pretty
one.
big song.
Pretty big song. So yeah, I mean there's an entire sequence with to She's the One. And I remember when they did that, I was like, she's the one. That's like such like that feels like a deep cut to me, but maybe that must mean more over there. There's a lot of the movie where you're just like, if I was a Brit,
If I
if I was
was in Liverpool,
if I was in Glastonbury, Regal Cinemas, assuming they have a Regal in Glastonbury, I feel like maybe this would hit it. I mean, honestly,
if I was in old Piccadilly Circus,
you know, there's a really good MJR in Piccadilly Circus, I'm sure. Yeah, and
and you know
I'm
what
sure,
they don't do? They don't fucking clap. They don't
Mm.
clap at that MGR.
no, they don't. They don't.
I want more real Midwest references.
Oh, we got to get them all in, Matt. What I will say overall is that if you want a movie that's insane, but also if you don't know anything about it, you'll probably be like, is this real? Did this happen? Because the other thing is at the end of the movie, they run photos on the screen of the things that you saw with the real Robbie Williams as this sort of like, this happened. That scene, it happened. It wasn't a monkey, though.
Can you believe it wasn't a monkey?
It was just a guy.
Believe it or not, a monkey didn't perform at Glastonbury.
The thing that's funny, Matt, is that now as I'm talking about it with you, I'm like, maybe I liked it more than I thought. But in the moment, it was a real, like, there'd be a sequence where I'd be like, okay with it. And then I'd be like, this is a tough go.
This movie sounds horrible. Like,
I mean,
it sounds real bad.
Here's what I'll say, Matt. I saw the movie Craven the Hunter on New Year's Eve, and that was worse. Okay. So
Okay.
that was worse.
Respect.
Listen, the movie Craven the Hunter, and this is really turning into real movie pod right now. In Craven the Hunter, the movie
This is what you come to for at Roach Koach,
right.
the
Don't
new
worry,
metal podcast.
I have a whole itinerary. We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. But yeah, in Craven the Hunter, the movie starts with an elaborate prison sequence in which Craven the Hunter murders a bunch of people in a prison and then escapes in elaborate CGI assisted fashion. And I remember thinking, this is kind of rote. I've seen this shit before. It's kind of like a low rent version of the beginning of that one Mission Impossible. But I'm in. You know, I'm in. Let's see Craven fucking ties up. Yeah. And then the movie goes 16 years earlier, and I went, I've only been acquainted with you, movie, about 5 to 10 minutes. You cannot do a 16 years earlier to me right now. They go to young Craven, and then they hang out with young Craven for 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It felt endless. And then when we finally came back to the present, I was like, I didn't need all that. I did not need that much backstory on young Craven. And the movie kind of never recovers, and there's a multiple dialogue sequences that feel 1 million years long. There's a sequence where Craven meets a woman, and they're sitting on a bench, and he's explaining.
Craven fucks. Like, don't think he doesn't.
Man, here's the thing. This movie's also a hard R, very violent, but it's clear they cut all the sex scenes out. It's clear because they're giving each other the vibe. Ariana DeBose, Oscar winner Ariana DeBose. She looks incredible in this movie, by the way. And
I'm sure she does.
Yeah. And they're clearly like they're trying to set up a vibe. And then it's like somebody came in and went, listen, we've already spent 30 minutes on a young Craven. We got to cut all the sex scenes. True bummer. But all these dialogue scenes, endless. And it was just overall just not a great experience. Also, most of the violence that I went to see was in the Red Band trailer I'd already seen in front of other movies. So I wasn't given any new violence to really enjoy. Because that's why I went. I heard it was a gory, mushy time. And it was, but most of it had already been spoiled. But the sequence I do want to point out is that Ariana DeBose is a lawyer in this movie. And she has to work with Craven. And at one point, he tells her, hey, you're a target. All right. You are under surveillance. Someone's going to come. They're going to try to get you. They might try to kill you in your office, your very fancy office. And she looks, and she's on her phone. She looks out and she sees a bunch of guys in suits. She goes, oh, yeah. Saw a bunch of guys come in here. They look like bad news. And he's like, get out of there. Get out of there. You know what she does?
She doesn't get out of there.
She goes back to her office and she grabs her bag and she grabs another bag and then she just kind of like moseys out. And it reminded me of, I don't know, many a women I've known in my life where I'm like, you ready to go? And she's like, give me a minute, okay? I need to get my stuff. I can't just leave with this bag. I need to have a backup bag. Also, I don't know if I love this outfit. I might have to change in the car. That's what she does. And honestly, it was the truest moment of the movie. Was Craven the Hunter being like, you need to leave right now, you're gonna get murdered. And she's like, I need to look good, okay? I'm not just gonna leave these outfits. I'm not gonna leave my stuff. And so that was the one moment that I did perk up and went, that feels real.
That was a choice she made.
She's like, filmmakers, I'm not just gonna run out. I gotta look good.
I can't just run out. I really have to go grab them.
Yeah, so that's movie corner here on the Roach Koach podcast. Matt,
since we are talking about movies, I have a little video clip that I'd like to show you.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Lauren, I need to set up with you right now. I have found a tape of myself from the 90s proving that I'm a big fat liar. Lauren, I don't want to admit this, but I have video proof that in the 90s, I didn't mind Alice in Chains.
Oh my God.
Yes. So here's the deal. In the 90s, I did a show on cable access. We wanted to be Wayne's World so bad. It just,
we all did.
I mean, and we did it. We became a cable access station. And we really did it. We really thought we had it. That's Faith No More. And this is I gotta fast forward. That's Mr. Trippendicular. Okay, that's Jesus and Mary Chain. Here we go. This is my real words with my real mouth saying the real thing. Get ready.
Wow. I like Alice in Chains. That was almost gold. Once again, it was fake.
Okay. So here's the thing. We just watched the Jesus and Mary Chain, and I said, I like Alice in Chains. But don't worry. We're about to do a review of Dirt because that's what the show was all about. It was all about alternative music reviews. We were like, we're going to fucking be on the edge of it. If we would have, I could have been Anthony Fantano, guys.
You could have been.
Could have been.
All right. We're coming up on our next review. This one is called Alice in Chains. They locked Alice up finally. She was going around Wonderland too much, just jumping around, bugging that rabbit, that stupid rabbit. Dumb rabbit. Doesn't he know tricks are for kids? Well, anyway.
I think I was holding for laughs there. Just holding for laughs.
Listen, you always got to hold for the laughs. You know, when we do this show, I'm always predicting somebody's laughing in their car right now. I got to take a minute.
Right. I got to. Exactly. I go, did somebody order something funky? And in my head, I wait for a beat for everybody to go, it's Funky Ken.
That's right. You got to wait for them to pause the episode.
Right.
So they can take a minute to laugh because they know they don't want to miss anything.
Correct.
Even though you're giving them a minute to laugh.
Right. Well, when they come back, I want them to like settle back in, and then I'll be like, I work at T-Mobile. Then I pause again instantly.
Because it's a killer callback.
Killer callback.
6 years of bits.
Yep. So here we go.
Alice in Chains' new one is called Dirt. Unlike Sonic Youth Dirty, this one is actually good. I can listen to this one.
Look, man. 1994? Me wasn't having Sonic Youth. My co-host Scott, he's like, man, I really went in on Sonic Youth's Dirty. They are one of my favorite bands of all time now. So that's
Curling, Wayne's World Word. Spewing, Wayne's World Word Part 2. And things like that.
Things like
I
that.
just
Great
like
review.
this one. It has very catchy guitars, very, very, very catchy drums, and the vocals are actually semi-annoying. And I like semi-annoying vocals.
I don't semi-annoying. See, that's true. I kept. What a great review.
Matt,
Good guitars.
this is what I feel when I watch this, is that as much as I hear the words coming out of your mouth, it does feel a little bit like you're being held at gunpoint right off the screen by Lane and Jerry, and they're saying say nice things about it, and you're doing your best, but that's the thing, you can help yourself. Semi-annoying vocals, and they're like cocking the gun, and you're like, "What I like? What I like?"
I will tell you the truth here. I wanted Scott, my co-host, to like what I was doing so much. I was like, I'm going to fucking love everything. If he hates it, I hate it. If I love it. If he loves it, I love it. This is an alternative show, Alice in Chains. Everybody loves Alice. I didn't know what to do. I had no autonomy. I had no ability to advocate for myself. So you got this. Look at my face. I look like I'm crestfallen saying these words.
It looks like you're going through it, Matt.
I'm really going through it. Scott's about to take over and tell me that I'm underselling the guitars here in a not so kind way.
Oh,
Heavy metal music. All right. Catchy guitars. Man, these bad mothers wail like they're pissed at the world.
Yeah, there it is.
these bad mothers, they're pissed at the world, baby. They can't stand it.
This world, fuck you.
Matt, I'm listening to Alice in Chains thinking, these guitars? These are some pissed off mothers.
They are pissed off mothers, I will say that.
These mothers? They're waiting in the pickup line outside the elementary school, and they're pissed. You can tell in these lips.
All right. We're going to go back to the main show right now because I've really screwed up Lauren's audio in order to show him this. But we're not done talking about this yet.
We won't be done talking about this.
So, Lauren.
Yeah, man.
We've had a couple seconds. We stopped that recording. You saw it. I said I liked Alice in Chains, but you could tell very much under duress.
Very much.
But your boy was cute. I'm going to say that. I had a real sweet boy vibe.
Matt, you were, I mean, listen, you are a cutie patootie, but
Thank
you
you.
were a real cutie patootie back in the day. 90s Nas?
90s Nas.
90s Nas? I gotta tell you,
So much hair. So much hair.
you are, it's a mane. We call that a mane. All right. You had a mane. All right.
I was going for that Ryder Strong so hard.
Oh, we all were.
I wanted that Shawshank Redemption swoop. I wanted the cha-ching guy hair.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, we all wished we were JTT for at least a moment, right?
Just even for a moment.
Even for a moment. You were a beautiful boy.
Thank
You're
you.
now a beautiful man.
Thank
I admire your bravery on coming here because a lot of people, if they have built a reputation around a certain opinion, around a certain vibe, and then they find video evidence that disproves that, they might try to bury it. They might
Yeah.
try to hide it.
Oh,
They
I
might-
definitely could have buried it.
And instead you said, I need to be real with our listeners. I need to be real with the world and let them know who I used to be,
Who I was.
And you know what, though? As much as it is nice to know that there was a moment where you were like with Alice in Chains, I think ultimately I love you the way you are now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would say that in the retrospect and having watched that, I definitely remember listening to Dirt because we wanted to be Wayne's World so bad.
Mhm.
But we did do the work. We literally got a CD store at the time to kind of sponsor us. It's now closed, Ultrasounds in Shelby Township. And that guy was nice enough to lend us the CDs for us to listen to, for us to review in hopes that people would come to his store. And then he got really upset if we didn't take care of them. And he'd be like, I can't sell this as new, guys. You scratched it up. He was pissed. It was a short run on that show, only 4 episodes. And I remember listening to it and being like, this sounds like music. Yeah, I'm into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I might have even had that thing where my dad didn't like it, and that was like the only like subtle thing that I would do that was kind of outside, just to be like, oh, my dad doesn't like this, I'm gonna like it. But
Mm-hmm.
I never owned it. I know that for 100% fact. And now I hear it, and them bones, you know, it's probably my favorite Alice in Chains song. I'm gonna give you that.
It's a great song.
But if I hear Rooster,
Matt, it's very clear that Rooster is real bad news for you, and I would never play you Rooster. Okay, I would never do that to you. But I do like that your favorite Alice in Chains song starts with the lyric "Ah!" I love that. That means a lot to me.
so I feel like we need to go to Patreon and maybe share a little bit more of old Mellowship Slinky, because I do a review of Ministry on there. So I think it would be fun for our Patreon.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the Patreon, ongoing concern.
Mm-hmm.
We're here in the show. This is a good time to take the break just to promote our Patreon for a second. Patreon.com/Roach Koach Podcast. For $7, you can join in at that tier. We also have a free membership. We do our monthly update on there for free. $7. You get all the episodes of The Pact. And February,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be live streaming Who's Tweeting directly to Patreon.
That's right.
First.
You'll be able to see us record our Who's Tweeting episodes. So you'll get the raw version before
The real deal.
before I go in and do my trims and my cleanups. So
many.
What? So many. Hold on. Let me try that again. You will get it all.
Me constantly getting up to take a pee.
Listen, I've learned my lesson from the time we recorded with Josh Toomey, and my ass fell out when I got up. So that won't happen again. Promise you that. All right. Or maybe it will.
Ooh.
Patreon exclusive, my butt. All right.
Patreon exclusive.
So head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Roach Koach Podcast. Become a member. See us, hang out with us. We'd love to see you there. Matt, let's dig into it. Let's dig into some new metal news, baby.
I love it. We got
Let's
some.
talk about who's touring.
Who's touring?
Matt, a lot of anniversaries. Your
So
10-year
many.
You have your 10-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a 15 anniversary.
Totally.
And if you're really keeping it together, you can do 20.
Yeah.
Some people do a 20 and a 25 at the same time. We talked about them last week on the show. Nonpoint, currently on tour, doing both Statement and To the Pain, double anniversary. Incredible. Shouts and love to everybody in Nonpoint. Shouts to Rob Rivera in Nonpoint. When we recorded the episode,
that was scary.
It was a scary time, but Rob is doing well as we record
And they're fucking road dogs.
Road dogs back in doing shows. Already
back in.
Amazing work. So love to all of them. Glad that they did it. Josh Toomey was at the show in question in Louisville. Sent me a clip of the band performing Orgullo. You guys, they still got it. Get your ticks. Go see Nonpoint. But they're doing a tour. They're celebrating 20 and 25 years. Another band has decided we're going to celebrate 20 and 25 years. That band is Cold. They will be celebrating 25 years of 13 Ways to Bleed on stage and 20 years of A Different Kind of Pain, performing both albums in their entirety.
Wow.
They're playing all over, but most importantly, on Friday, April 4th, 2025, they will be playing the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan. That's right. 2 Cold albums performed in their entirety. One that you probably know a bunch of songs on, and also A Different Kind of Pain. I don't know.
So, buddy, I got to ask you.
Yeah, Matt. Mm-hmm.
Scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
10 being like, cancel all my plans.
Okay.
I am already there.
Uh-huh.
I'm going VIP. Yeah, 10 is like, I would spring for the VIP experience.
Okay.
To 1 is, oh, I'm sorry, I have to wash my hair that night.
Okay.
Where are you? Where are you on this?
4.7.
Fair. That's fair.
4.7. Listen,
Probably at a 2. I'm probably at a 2.
you're probably too. Listen, I think 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage, just get Wicked, some of that. That might play. That might play for that. But what I've heard of A Different Kind of Pain, I don't know how that's going to go. I truly don't know how. I'm assuming that they start with that and then they do the other one. I don't know how you would do all of 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage and then go, all right, now we're going to do. The thing that's crazy about this is even with. I don't know how you are when you listen to music, but if I listen to a band, if I put on any band, Stone Temple Pilots, Nine Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Alice in Chains, and I listen to their album front to back, when it's done, I don't listen to another album by that band.
No, generally no.
I will palate cleanse.
Yeah.
And so the idea that Cold's like, we're going to make you listen to 2 full Cold albums tonight feels a little bit like a threat.
That's a holy shit moment for me. That's
A
like,
lot.
oh, you're
It's a lot.
fucking, you're in it.
It's
You're
a
in
lot.
it. So here's my question, because I
No,
know
no.
this is.
Before you ask your question, I do want to
Sure.
point this out though. Tickets are now on sale, and they are selling well. Scooter has
That's
already
awesome.
posted that the feedback is great, and honestly, I think people. I know they did an anniversary show for Year of the Spider,
Right.
that did all right, but I really do think the hardcores were like 13 Ways. That's what we really, really want, and that's what they're gonna get. Now, Matt, your question.
Do you think so? I'm wearing a Get Up Kids t-shirt because I saw them on the tour for Something to Write Home About, a
Okay.
packed album.
Yes.
And they did it start to finish, but it was only one. If you have 2, you might be able to give yourself the ability to bounce from one record to the next a little bit. Instead of doing them cover to cover, you get to make a set list out of both albums. That might make it more like, okay, you know what I mean? Like just spitballing. They're probably going to do one, take a break, do the other. But I would think it's an opportunity just to be like, hey, we're going to mix the songs up tonight, but we're going to do both albums complete. You're going to hear every song from every album, but we're just not going to do them in order. Because boy, oh boy. I would do that. I would do that immediately. Like, we're going to do 1 and 1, 2 and 2, you know, like, I don't know, just some way that it's just like.
Well, as we've talked about before, when bands do the front to back thing, albums are made to be listened to as an album and a concert as a concert. And it's very tough. It's like when U2 decided they were going to do Joshua Tree front to back. It's like, you're going to have a strong start, friends. You're going to have a bumpy end. So maybe that's the way to do it. They're like, yeah, we're going to celebrate both these records and we're going to mix it up. You're going to hear songs from all over and we're going to play them all throughout the night.
Yeah,
So
I just can't imagine doing 2 albums. But I mean, you know, we're talking about our Road Dogg friends in Nonpoint. They're doing 2 albums. I don't know how they did it. I don't know if they did the first one, then the second one.
But at the same time, though, when we think about those records, we're like, oh, you mean
the ones with all the fucking rippers?
With a bunch of heaters on it? a bunch of mosh pit activators? Like,
instead of Cold, which has like some soggy middles? You know, like,
this is some very soggy middles.
I'm trying to be a dick. Cold's not my favorite, but like
Cold loves themselves a soggy middle. Like it's like by design. That's
they might
accurately described.
Their live show could be described as, we're going to slow it down for a minute.
We're going to slow it down for a minute or 40
or the rest of the show.
Rest of the night.
This is a lot. This is a lot. You know, like you heard that one song that had energy.
All right. We're done with that.
That's enough of that.
Sorry about that.
Still to this day, Bowling for Soup doing their big album and the guy coming out and being like, hi, I'm the bassist, the goofball from Bowling for Soup. Yep. This album is the 3 songs you want to see and then the 7 songs you don't remember. So just know that going in and enjoy the show.
There you go. Maybe that's what he's got to do. If you're boots on the ground for Cold, let us know. We want to know how it goes. Yeah, Matt, let's talk about who's in those DMs.
Sliding up in.
We got a DM from Ryan Thomas. He sent us a clip of the band Heathen Sun and on their song Get a Grip, and he said the original nu metal ninjas ? And I know that I believe we've been recommended this band before. I don't know if we've talked about them on the show, but we definitely not talked about this song, which is called Get a Grip.
All right. Well, let's get listening to it. Heathen Sun. Give me a second. Did he have a link in here? Okay, got it.
You got it. Okay.
All right, here we go.
How many times do I have to tell you this? A little bit of me will make your life feel bliss. I made your dreams with a single kiss. I'm the shit, boom, boom, with the clip, no scope. I don't miss. Get a grip, see where the fuck I stand. I got the backup plans of a dropout plan. Far from single, throw a single second as fast as I can. I'm an old fan friend, but the real ones got me, you heard? Reality slick, son of a bitch. You get a grip, I ain't addicted to your hits. All the money that you flip, no any of the bullshit you spit. Now this is what you got to admit. You gotta learn to take the hit. Just get the fuck on and roll with it. If a troll is where you want to sit, just know it doesn't fit. You can't tell the skin.
Now, when he said, "Are these guys the original new metal ninjas?" I thought it was initially in relation to the fact that a lot of the members of the band wear masks, and that
Yes.
might be what he meant. But listening to the song sans visuals and just hearing it with everything, I'm like, this is spin kick music. This is music for spin kicks, and it could be spin kicks in a Jason Statham movie,
Yep.
but it could also be spin kicks if you are in a karate class,
Oh yeah.
if you are in a boxing gym. Maybe you're doing some boxing. That's the new move. People do the new workout as they go to the gym. They just take it to the speed bag. They take it to the punching bag. They work it out that way. Here, it's good for your butt. That's what I heard.
Word
Form
on
the
the
butt
street
up.
is
Word on
yeah.
the street is form your butt up. Yeah. So that might be what this is for. This is for prime throwdown music. Maybe for ninjas, although this is the thing with ninjas. Ninjas, they move in silence. Okay.
That's correct.
That is the one thing about it, is that you look at a ninja, you're like, this guy looks cool as hell. What's he listening to? Nothing. He needs to be in full control of his environment and know everything around it. It has to be complete silence
All
it would
times.
be- at all times. And I think what it is that when you watch a movie and you see a ninja going around and somebody's like, let's put a sick drop over this. Yeah. But in reality, complete silence.
Quiet.
Gotta be
Super
quiet. You ever seen the movie Ninja Assassin, Matt?
Hold it. I feel like I have. It's a ridiculous over the top action movie, right?
It's a very ridiculous movie. Lots of CGI blood. And on one hand, I
have seen this.
on one
Yes.
hand, I could see someone saying, not a good film. But on the other hand, it's an incredible film.
Yes.
It's called Ninja Assassin, and it delivers a ninja assassin, friends. Anyway, in regards to this song, I don't know. This motherfucker's spitting. I'm down.
This motherfucker is spitting. I liked it a lot. I love that synth, man.
Yeah. A nice little touch I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if the ninja was a juggalo tip of the hat, because these guys also have a strong ICP vibe to me
Little bit, yeah.
in
You
terms
also
of
got
their
great dread work. Dreads through the masks.
dreads through the mask. The aesthetic is very much throwback, or I forget what they call basketball jersey.
Yes, throwback jerseys. Yeah.
Throwback jerseys. Good. I played zero sports. So they're wearing throwback jerseys. They've got masks on. There's a lot of dreads. We're ripping and rapping, but I'm probably going to listen to this one again in the car. This feels like a in the car song for
Absolutely.
sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for the Heathen Sun recommendation. Love to hear more. Now, a number of people sent us this from a Loudwire headline. And so I apologize that I'm not citing you all.
This
but
is fucking crazy that we just had this conversation and then Loudwire rips it from our show.
takes it right from us. But here it is. Loudwire posted and said Linkin Park, Korn, Limp Bizkit, and System of a Down are a pretty formidable big four of nu metal. But which of these four had the best overall album and which had the worst? Now, one, I love Loudwire's confidence here that just was like, this is the big four of nu metal.
Period. The end.
Period.
See you later.
Don't even discuss it. Yeah. So they just laid it down. Linkin Park, Korn, Limp Bizkit, System of a Down. Okay. All right. If we're to follow this, we're not even going to litigate that because it's been litigated to death. So we're just not even going to. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to answer the question. Which of these four had the best overall album and which had the worst? Matt, we'll start with you. Which one had the best, according to you? Which is the best?
According to me, System of a Down had the best overall album.
Okay.
And according to me, Linkin Park had the worst overall album because they kept making albums. Like Korn's worst album is still way better than Linkin Park's worst record by a lot. And Limp Bizkit is Limp Bizkit. Like I don't feel like if you like Limp Bizkit records, I don't feel like they have a stinker in the
but nothing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. You ready for me?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So the best, I would say the best overall album, I feel like the critic choice is to say System of a Down, Toxicity.
Yep.
But for me personally, I feel like the best album would be Chocolate Starfish. I would put Chocolate Starfish. I would say Chocolate Starfish is the best overall. Probably number two, I'd probably say would be Issues. That would probably be where I would go.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, I love Issues. Issues is my favorite Korn album. So there you go. Now, worst 1 gazillion % Linkin Park. Linkin Park's worst album is easily the worst. Listen. Results may vary. Tough record. Okay.
Tough record.
But it ain't that last Linkin. It ain't Linkin Park.
The light. Yeah.
It ain't One More Light. All right. That is easily by far the worst of it. I don't see how you can argue it. I feel like anybody who wrote in those comments and was like, "Oh, results may vary, path to totality." Listen to One More Light. Just listen to a couple songs of One More Light. Your tune will change
instantly.
You'll be like, "My apologies. The results may vary." My apologies. Head for the barricade. That song rips. Yeah, it's real good. It's real good. You'll be playing. Listen, you're gonna listen to One More Light, and then you're gonna get in the car with your woman, and you're gonna put on Results May Vary just as a palate cleanser. You'll be like, "Listen, girl, we gotta listen to Results May Vary. I gotta do something." So, Loudwire, thanks for ripping off our topic, and keep on doing the work. And thank you, everyone who sent that over to us.
Absolutely, thank you so much,
Matt. We got to talk about who's emailing.
Who's emailing?
Matt, tell us about what Ryan Rizzo had to say.
More new from Australia. What up, Koach Lords? Another sick new band from Oztown. They're called Deficit, and the song's Nothing to Lose. It's a straight up rip snorter. Enjoy. Love you, dogs. Keep it Tolkien, baby.
Keep it Tolkien. I love it. Ryan, we love you. We love Australia. We love it. We love all the Bogans and everybody out there.
We love the Ruffies.
We love the Ruffies.
We love the Bogans.
Mm-hmm.
We love
That's all we know.
That's all I
remember.
That's
all I remember. We love every single person who's ever been.
We love all the Sheilas.
Yes. Yeah. We love everybody who's ever been in Super Heist. We love everybody who's involved in Mad Max Fury Road and Mad Max Furiosa. So I think we covered everybody in Australia with that. Matt, Deficit. Nothing to lose. This song says straight up rip snorter.
Get ready, because here it comes.
Move to the groove, you got nothing to lose, bitch. Back in from the ashes we rise. I know you all can't believe your eyes. In the midst of a sickness, this scene became a witness. So, that beast to make the geeks fly. I better brothers settle never die. We got the sick riffs, we got the cool shit.
Get it?
Deficit. Watch it, the bed, pick it up, split it up. You got it, I want it, take it out of the hands. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up. I want another fucking fly in the mosh pit. Pick it up, split it up.
Did he say I want another motherfucking fight in the mosh pit?
Matt, what's it like to hear a perfect song? What's it like?
Heaven. It's like heaven.
If you go to heaven, you're going to meet, as I believe it's St. Peter who checks you in, and he's going to go, welcome to heaven. And he's going to say, here's your backpack, because you get a backpack, because you got to have something to put all your, you got, listen, there's a lot of swag in heaven. You got to have
a lot
backpack.
of swag, tons of leaflets of how things work.
Exactly. You got to have a place to put it all. And then they give you a guitar, and you go, what's the guitar for? I don't know how to play guitar. It's like, well, in heaven, everyone knows how to play guitar. And then it's like, what song are we going to play? And it's like,
yeah. We're going to play Deficits, Nothing
you're
to
going to play
Lose.
Deficits, Nothing to Lose. The greatest song ever made. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I kept thinking, can these guys keep going right? Can they keep making the right decisions? And they keep making the right decisions in making an incredible new metal song. Incredible work. I don't know if they can do a full album of this. Is there a full album? Is this like a one-off? Like, Matt, is there a whole album of this for me to listen to? Is there a whole album of this? Listen, Matt, listen. I could still get married again, okay? And I need to know if there's a whole album that I can just play the whole album through the whole wedding, okay? That's what I need to know, because yes, I'm getting married to Nothing to Lose by Deficit. Matt, tell me, is there an album?
So here's what you need to know.
Okay.
As we stand here,
Okay.
there is not a full-length album.
Okay.
They have a lot of singles.
Okay, so I can make a comp.
You definitely could make a comp.
Okay.
There certainly is EPs, but they're more like 2-song EPs.
Okay.
This particular song, Nothing to Lose, is from 2022. So yeah, they have been doing the work. They just put out a single called Original Criminal in October of last year. Do we want to see if they're a one-trick pony, if they got the goods?
Matt, let's hear Original Criminal, which according to my Apple Music was put out on Halloween.
That's also what I got.
Just wanna write another motherfucking thing. Cut the bullshit, you should fucking quit. Yeah, that's a sense, you're a fucking pussy bitch. Go fucking quit, don't make me sick. Just wanna write another motherfucking thing. Cut the bullshit, it ain't subliminal. Don't you know I'm the original criminal? There he goes again, they see me rolling. Acting like I'm motherfucking Satan. What's it feel like? Having no luck. Pack your shit, grab your click, time to hitchhike. I know you'll never change, it's such a weird range. Only one can sit on the throne. As you stumble, and you say don't blow up your phone. I wanna put it home.
Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay? Because the first 4 rows of this concert are fucked.
Matt,
Yeah, buddy.
we found the new kings. These are the new kings. These are the new kings. Listen. I know.
What do you want to do?
I know that people are kind of, anti the monarchy, and I get it. You want to have elected officials, you want to have a part in the democracy, but let's crown the kings right now, okay? I know 2 songs. We only heard the first minute and a half of both, but unless the second half turns into a real limp noodle fucking shit, which I doubt. I think these boys got the juice.
They got the goods.
They got the goods.
You know what they're saying? We take our sweet time putting out songs. We're not going to give you a whole album.
Mm-hmm.
Give you one at a time to make sure that the quality is there.
It's like
every song that we make is a single.
Every song we make, we fine tune it in the lab so that when it's played out loud, at least the first 3 people who hear it die.
Die instantly.
They're done. They're done. That's the thing. They go and they're like, we got to play this for some people, but do we have anybody terminal who wants to hear it? That's their make-a-wish. They got some terminal kids like, we're going to play you the song, but it's going to kill them.
Boy, this took a turn.
It took a turn. But that's the type of music that they make.
Didn't realize Deficit was the new Jack Kevorkian.
They are. Deficit, you're incredible.
That rips, dude. That rips.
You keep on ripping. I'm gonna be diving through these singles. I can't believe it. This is amazing. I love it. Thank you so much, Ryan. I gotta say, the subject line "more new from Australia" really undersold this. All right. Thank you so much, Ryan. Oh boy. Well, Matt, we have another email. It's from JB. JB had the subject line, has anyone recommended the band Mindset yet? And I don't believe so. But this is specifically their 1997 self-titled album. It has plenty of chunky, down-tuned riffs and good screaming. It also has a song titled If the Devil Wore Adidas, which seems like an extremely new song title. Unfortunately, you're one of those lesser-known 90s bands who don't have a Wikipedia page or that much out there about them on the internet. Here's a link to one of the songs from the album. Thank you. I also hope you eventually get around to reviewing the album Pimp by Clown, which was released the same year as the Mindset album, which is something I recommended to you in 2020 or so. We get this a lot. It is like a lost Korn album from the mid-90s with slightly more rapping and needs to be done on this podcast. We do now in the time I recommended them. The whole album has been put on Spotify, so it seems like there's a renewed interest with them among fans of underground nu metal. Here's a link to one of their songs if you forgot who they are. JB, thank you so much. Listen, people recommending stuff to us on the show and us getting it to it later or never that's us. That's how we do.
Classic Koach.
And I got to say, it being added to Spotify, it being added to streaming definitely helps it bump it up on the list. So let's make a gentleman's agreement. Let's say we're gonna do Pimp by Clown this year. We'll do it. We'll have to do it.
Shit.
We'll have to
okay.
do it. But Mindset. Neither of us know this. He put a link here to one of the songs. Let's check it out.
Yep. And all right, let's go.
You are the one who twists my mind. Same sad story 1,000 times, but I hate you, don't leave me. I hate you, don't leave me. I hate you, don't. You are the one who makes me. You are the one who makes me. You are the one who makes me. You are the one who makes me.
Number one, it's not fair to play anything after Deficit. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that out loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that did not hit my ear. I was not ready to hear Mindset. I wasn't in the right mindset.
There you are.
For Mindset.
I will say I agree with you, Matt. I will say that I did my best to engage with it on its level. And honestly, I see what he's talking about. This is definitely that mid-90s post-Korn, but pre-Follow the Leader era sort of nu metal sound and stuff.
Yeah.
And I hear the chunks. I hear all the foundational stuff in there.
Yeah, because it has that kind of the clunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that chug and that clunk that you hear in the first Korn records.
Yeah. The strike against it, unfortunately, is that Deficit has, just leveled a hospital, okay,
Correct.
with their music. And so we are still cleaning up all them bodies. And so it's going to be a minute. But I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that. And I can definitely hear the sound there. And like I said, we will be doing Pimp by Clown this year. So
there it is.
Thank you so much, JB, for sending that over to us. Matt, we did a Who's Tweeting episode, and we got a little bit of feedback on it on a couple of the different topics that we covered on it. The first being that we talked about the band Flymore, who apparently I had forgotten about. You remembered. A lot of our listeners also remembered. And I wanted to read and have us both go through some of the feedback here. EVTW said, as soon as I heard Flymore, I thought, I bet they're going to do the signature sound bit. And then Lauren immediately went into it. Listen, we have a bit we love, and we're going to do it forever.
Forever.
All right. Forever. Okay. This show to its last episode, whenever that is, we will do this bit. Okay. Because the thing about it, Matt, and I don't know if you know this, is that a lot of bands in the world utilize only like 6 strings on a guitar.
I've heard of this. I have heard this. Yes.
And the thing is that Korn came around.
Yeah.
And they were like, the neck on my guitar, when I hold it, it doesn't hurt my hand. It's so thin. Can I get a big, thick neck with an extra string that's going to hurt my hand? And the guitar maker
dying for a hurt hand.
They like, you want early onset arthritis in your hands from a thicker headstock? And they're like, absolutely. Can you do that? And they said, well, here's the thing though. If you do this, if you add this extra string to your guitar, I want you to keep this in mind. It's going to change the sound of your band. It's going to change how you guys sound. And one of the members of the band, it might have been Head, it might have been Monkey, said, do you think it's going to create like a signature sound for us? And, the guy at the old string store said, can't hurt to find out. And he slapped it on. He slapped the guitar in their hands, and he pushed them out the door to destiny. And created what some might say is the Korn signature sound with 7 strings. Now, I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that, Matt?
When Steve Vai, guitar virtuoso, was looking for, an artist like Steve Vai is always looking to expand his palette to encompass new musical colors.
Mm-hmm.
So when Steve asked Ibanez to build a 7-string guitar with a low B, just adding 1 string seemed simple at first. But then consider that the tremolo, locking nut, and pickups all have to be redesigned. The neck must not be too wide, but not so narrow that the string spacing suffers. Considerable experimentation by Steve and Ibanez designers brought forth the solution to the challenge. The string spacing at the 7-string bridge is exactly the same as the 6-string edge tremolo, while spacing at the top lock was narrowed. That combined with Dunlop's 6140 fret wire resulted in a neck requiring only minimal adjustment from strict 6-string playing techniques. With our own creative mastered, we invite you to explore the universe guitar, that led to Korn's signature sound.
Barton!
I have a video coming out very, very soon. I'm almost done with it. And I have watched so much of Monkey and Head talking about guitars. And I don't know fucking anything about guitars.
You're going to know by the end.
The two of them are sitting down and they're talking about the 7-string guitar. The guitar that leads to Korn's, I don't know, some people call it their signature sound.
Signature sound, yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, Steve Vai designed this for like fucking masturbation on the guitar. And I was like, what if we made it riff?
You know what? That's the type of thinking that takes you to the top. All right. Okay. It's like one person's like, I'm going to make this thing for a very specific niche thing. And then someone else is like, what if we take this straight to the top? What if we just take it to Mount Olympus? What if? All right.
And here's some crazy facts about that guitar. Okay. So on Blind, the first guitar you hear is not a 7-string guitar. It is
scandalous to know this.
Which is scandalous, right?
Yes.
It is all I could find on this guitar was that it was like an old guitar. That was like the explanation. Old guitar that belonged to Monkey. Like the description on it is so shitty. It's like, okay. And it had a amplifier built into the guitar. So they just put the mic up to that amplifier. And that's why it sounds so weird. And Head's guitar, eventually Monkey got a 7-string and he played an Ibanez 7-string pretty much from then on out. But like on Blind, he doesn't. And Monkey's guitar
Or Head's
is
guitar.
the Steve Vai, or Head's guitar
Yeah.
is the Steve Vai universe. Here's the crazy thing. They only made like 500 of those. That guitar is super fucking rare.
Wow.
So it's like, how did he must have been like, no, that's it. I want that thing. Like how that's the part that kind of is just like, is it just because it had 7 strings and it was pretty but it looked metal as fuck and he was like, let's do it.
You know what? The thing about it is also, it's sometimes the things that you hear about something has like a limited availability, and people are like, oh, that makes it rare, that makes it expensive. But the other thing to keep in mind is what was the market in 1993 for a guitar like that? They may have had 497 of them laying around. Like,
That's
what are we gonna
true.
do
That's
with these?
true.
You know,
'Cause
and that's
nobody-
why- yeah. But
Because
do
it was
wanna-
really marketed to like technical guitar players, and it's like, no.
Yeah. But you know what? You know what's really beautiful about this story, Matt, is that this iconic song was made with both a piece of shit guitar and state of the art merging together. I love that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Fieldy plays a 5-string bass on it, so don't worry, baby.
Yeah. And Jonathan Davis, 7 vocal cords.
7 vocal cords, 7
right.
vocal folds.
That's right. Ah, man. Beautiful. Thank you, Evie, for having us do that bit again. Josiah Russell said, not familiar with Flymore. I emailed you guys twice about them 7 years ago. Laughing face emoji, face palm emoji. Definitely
Of course he
scratch
did.
that corn itch between album releases for me. The EP is much better than their album, in my opinion. Josiah, keep those emails coming. Isabel Mercedes said, I'm so glad to hear Brazilian new metal on the pod. Hope you guys get around to doing an episode on one of those bands. Also, Creed is still huge in Brazil. Shrug emoji. And don't worry, Matt, it's almost impossible to pronounce Portuguese right if you're not native.
Isabel, thank you so much. That's such a relief to know that you weren't expecting me to have proper pronunciation.
Beautiful. Matt, what Ben Rice have to say?
He says security systems have never been cheaper, yet all these bands keep getting absolutely pilfered down to the floorboards.
It's terrible. It's terrible to see it every day, and yet it continues to happen. Ring.com. Get yourself a Ring camera, Corn. Gareth Davies says, love that signature Flymore sound. You've got that classic string rattle from Fyodor, and then the twin 7 strings of, I guess it's supposed to be Cyrillic head and monkey, but it's really the vocals of Goblet King Ivan Devis that complete it. If you love those guys, you'd also check out Riverline, aka We Have Lincoln Park at Home. And he did point out that every water level is the water planet from Interstellar. You shouldn't have gone, and by the time you get out, 40 years have passed. Best worst water level ever is Mondo from Super Mario World, which is title, so sometimes it's full of water, sometimes it's not. Listen, I know that fucking level, okay? I know that. I don't play video games, and I know that fucking... The moment he said it, I was like, I know that fucking level. I know that fucking level. I don't want to think about it. Fucking water levels. Anyway, Garrett, thank you so much. Much appreciated.
David Boone comes in with Strangers with Candy should absolutely be in the junk drawer. That thing is so early 2000s. It was part of the Not Another Teen Movie soundtrack, and then half of them joined Breaking Benjamin.
Listen, you got to put food in your family, and if that means you have to join Breaking Benjamin, then that's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. All right. Steven said, if we're following a bit to the very end, then perhaps we will dizzy up the girl in the pit with some musical stylings from Human Encyclopedia, Johnny Resnick and the Boys. I've been hoping for some good Flymore coverage on here for a while now, since they were like a Korn tobacco patch in the late 2000s. The real Korn were getting Freaky Birdman on their album cover and experimenting with 6-string guitars, while Flymore were trying their best to make warm Bakersfield music in cold Russia. We all know it's 2025, and 2 + 5 = 7, so we need more of that 7-string chug. Steven, you did it.
You cracked the code.
Cracked
2
the
+
code.
5 = 7.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Garbage Stock Art comes in with, no offense to the Roach writer who wrote in, but Big Four discussions are the dumbest shit. Just because thrash metal happened to have 4 bands that were bigger than all the others doesn't mean a big 4 is some kind of naturally occurring phenomenon that every subgenre is going to have. Nu metal is a particularly hard genre to do it with because it has lots of bands that were absolutely huge for at least an album or two, and a lot of big bands that drifted in and out of the genre. You could say there's a big 5 who popularized and defined the genre: Korn, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Slipknot, Deftones, but there are a whole host of other bands who are at their peak, approached that level of popularity, and or who were more consistently nu metal than some of those 5. So it's not clear cut. I don't know. Maybe we should throw System of a Down and Mudvayne on that list so we can call it a big 7, a nod to the 7-string guitars that, if you didn't know, form the basis of Korn's signature sound.
Interesting. I did not know that. Good call. Good call on that one. It really does show. Yeah.
That one comment became one bit that now has become a handshake for our show.
It really is. It really is.
I love it. I fucking
Beautiful.
love it.
Beautiful. Finally, Ryan's timeline said, also, can we consider Dead Star Assembly's Send Me an Angel video for the junk drawer, or at least one of those things that falls out of the back of the junk drawer into the bottom of the cabinet?
Ooh, I love that.
I love that. We will investigate and discuss in the future. But thank you so much for sending that over, Ryan. Thank you, everybody, for commenting and listening. Much appreciated. Matt, there's only one way to end an episode of Roach Coach, and that is with Stupid F and Matt's new core for old heads.
Get out of my way.
That's an old head.
Yeah, man.
That's an old head. Matt, we've heard a lot of rippers. We've heard some scary songs. We've heard a lot of different things on this list so far. Where are we going this week?
Well, I'm going to be really honest with you.
Uh-huh.
We didn't know this when we started the episode.
Uh-huh.
But the song that would be next in line is Heathen Sons Get a Grip.
Holy shit, it is. Oh my God. I just opened it up on my screen. Oh my God. Wow. That's crazy.
That finger on the pulse of this show.
I got to tell you, it might be an old head. Strong heart.
Strong heart.
Strong
so
heart.
We're going to jump that one.
Okay.
And we're going to go to the Gloom in the Corner with Witch Hunt.
Oh, here we go.
I already have before. This is the price of my pain. This is the price of war. I'll do the last thing I can to reach your fucking sane. Remove the reverence of your face. I bet you feel ashamed when I blow out my fucking brain.
Time signatures. Where we're going, we don't need time signatures.
Matt, it's not every day you hear a song that's in 36/28. You know, it really isn't.
Wow.
Wow. You know, that's one where, you know what? Sometimes you gotta take a step back. You gotta take a step back. You gotta get some perspective. And I definitely feel like there was a witch hunt going on. But the problem with a witch hunt is that ultimately there were no witches.
Correct.
You know, they just drowned a bunch of ladies or hung a bunch of ladies. I don't remember. I haven't read The Crucible in a long time. This may be this may be the Crucible set to music.
Maybe they did it all to the ladies.
Maybe they did.
They burned them.
They burned them.
They drowned them.
They drowned them.
They hung them.
Oh man, it was tough. If somebody thought you were a witch, it was you were toast. You were toast, literally and figuratively. This one, I'm gonna say it. Their name of the band is The Gloom in the Corner. That's a long name for your band. When you walk out at a show, it really should be like, hey, we're Korn from Bakersfield, California. Here we go. But when you walk out, you're like, what's going on? We're the gloom in the corner, and then we haven't even said the name of what city we're from yet, and also we got some songs to play. No, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a mouthful. These guys have a lot going on. There's a lot of words. There's a lot going on. The time signatures are crazy.
Yep.
It's a little too busy for me. It's a little too busy for me. And also, I've already heard the laser focus nuclear power of Deficit. And I can see these guys, they're trying, they're putting it out there. I can see this somebody being like, guys, this fucking rips is crazy. It's very effortful. And I don't know. I not my favorite.
I do like that it keeps breaking down though. That was enjoyable to me. That it was like, wait, because they started hyper and then it was like, oh, it's all just fucking breakdowns.
Yeah.
I'm in. I liked that aspect of it.
Right.
But the Deficit and that Heathen Son kind of had me on point today. So
yeah.
I feel like I found some listening for the car this week.
You definitely did. You definitely did, Matt. Well, we're going to keep on rolling through this list, which is clearly still have. I mean, I'm looking at some of these other songs to come, and my gosh, I mean, just based on the names alone, we're in for it. So thank you so much, Matt, for that list. And thank you so much for listening as we come to the end of another episode of Roach Koach. Keep on saying hello to us online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky. We're on all of those. Send us an email, roachcoachpodcast@gmail.com. Head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/roachcoachpodcast. Become a patron. Check out the pack. Watch us record these Who's Tweeting episodes live and so much more bonus content. It's very, very fun. And until next time,